Hot or cold showers for seniors. Best water temperature for heart health. Part 1, First Perspectives. Have you ever wondered whether bathing with warm or cold water can affect your heart? I believe that many of us at this age simply choose water based on feeling. Cold is uncomfortable, too hot is worrying, and finally choose what is called moderate. But wait. Perhaps this is a seemingly harmless habit but can silently affect cardiovascular health, the most precious thing when we reach 60 years old. I am also at an age where it is no longer a matter of when will I have time to go to the doctor, but a regular appointment every few months. And you know, it was from a conversation with a cardiologist at a hospital in California that I realized something. The way you shower, both the time, temperature, and duration, can have a significant impact on your blood pressure, heart rate, and even the quality of your sleep. So today, I invite you to sit down with me for a moment to explore a seemingly simple topic that contains many things to ponder: warm or cold showers, which is the right choice to protect your heart in old age. You and I both know that, when you pass the age of 60, every activity of the day is no longer simply a matter of daily living. It becomes part of the plan to maintain a happy and healthy life. From what to eat, what time to go to bed, to how to shower, all should be carefully considered. It may sound heavy, but it's not. Understanding correctly to live lightly is what I want to send to you through this video. We will review the common symptoms of bathing incorrectly, understand why the heart is so sensitive to water temperature, and of course, I will share with you specific, easy-to-do advice that does not require any technology or cost. Just listen to your body. And if you have ever felt a little short of breath when stepping into a cold shower in the morning, or feeling dizzy after soaking in a warm bath in the evening, you are not alone. Those seemingly normal reactions are actually important signals that the cardiovascular system is sending us. So stay with me until the end of the video, because I will save the secret that is often mentioned by cardiologists in New York and Minnesota, something that not many people know, for the last part. Who knows, that could help you and your loved ones avoid a sudden stroke. Now, let me get into the nitty-gritty. Why does water temperature have such a profound effect on our cardiovascular systems as we age? Your body and mind don't react as quickly as they did when we were younger. When you immerse yourself in cold water, the blood vessels in your skin immediately constrict, a normal reflex of the body to conserve heat. But that constriction also causes a sudden increase in blood pressure, as the heart is forced to pump blood harder to get through the constricted capillaries. For young people, the heart is strong enough to handle this, but for people who already have high blood pressure or narrowed coronary arteries, like most of us, this can be a dangerous situation. I recall the story of a neighbor, a former electrician in Ohio. He told me that last summer, he tried taking cold showers every morning, following the advice of an online article that said it would increase resistance. But after just a few weeks, he felt tired, dizzy, and even had to sit on the floor because of dizziness right in the bathroom. When he went to the doctor, he confirmed that it was due to an abnormal vascular response, combined with a rapid heart rate, all caused by taking a very cold shower in the morning. So should we avoid cold water completely? Not really. Cold water is still very effective, especially in reducing arthritis, recovering from light exercise, or helping to soothe the body after a hot day. However, it is important to use cold water appropriately for your physical condition. If you are healthy, have no history of cardiovascular disease, you can start with slightly cool water, try it for a short time, and especially, do not shower when your body is tired, hungry, or right after waking up. However, most elderly people, including me, feel most comfortable when bathing in warm water. And that is not just a feeling, my friend. Science has proven that warm water, from about 36 to 40 degrees Celsius, helps blood vessels dilate slightly, improves blood circulation, relaxes the body, and stabilizes blood pressure. This is why many doctors at geriatric centers in Boston often advise patients to take a warm bath at night to help them sleep better and reduce stress. Have you noticed that when you soak your hands in warm water for a while, you feel much more comfortable? That's because the sensory nerves are unlocked, blood circulates better, and the brain also secretes endorphins, a hormone that creates a feeling of comfort. When blood circulates well, the heart doesn't have to work too hard, and that's extremely important for people with coronary artery disease or frequent high blood pressure. However, there are also common mistakes when using warm water that many people do not pay attention to. For example, bathing for too long, or soaking in a warm bath for more than 30 minutes, can cause the body to gradually lose heat without realizing it. The heart beats abnormally slows down, blood pressure drops, and can easily lead to fainting, especially when standing up suddenly. Warm baths should also not be taken immediately after a full meal or after strenuous exercise. I once talked to a 74-year-old woman in Texas who loved to soak in the bath at night. But she had a habit of soaking for nearly an hour every day. After a few months, she often felt short of breath, nervous, and had nightmares at night. Finally, the doctor diagnosed the cause as being from bathing for too long, causing the body to misregulate cardiovascular signals. After she adjusted the bath time to 15 minutes and combined it with a few light breathing movements after bathing, all symptoms gradually disappeared. You see, just choosing cold or warm water, there are so many things to think about, right? I really hope you share in the comments section below. Do you usually shower with warm or cold water? And have you ever encountered any uncomfortable situations while showering? If these little experiences are shared, who knows, it will help many other people watching this video. Right after this, we will delve deeper into an extremely important but often overlooked factor, the time of day to shower, because the time, combined with the temperature, is a perfect pair that directly affects the cardiovascular system. Don't look away, because what you are about to hear may change your daily routine. Part 2, When to Shower, the Key Behind Every Hour. We have talked a lot about water temperature, warm or cold, and its impact on the heart at your age and mine. But temperature alone is not enough. There is another factor that, if not properly placed, even if you shower with the right temperature, can still cause blood pressure to fluctuate, heart fatigue, and even prolonged insomnia. That is the time of day you choose to shower. I will go straight to the first thing, which is early morning showers. What do you think if I say that this is the most dangerous time for the heart when entering the shower? Sounds surprising, right? But it is true. Imagine, your body has just woken up, your blood pressure is still low, your blood circulation is not stable, and your heart has just left its resting state throughout the night. If you step right into the cold water, or the water is too hot, the sympathetic nervous system will be suddenly activated, making your heart beat faster, your blood vessels contract more strongly. I remember once I tried to take an early shower because I wanted to stay awake all day. That morning in California, it was a bit chilly. I just stepped into the bathroom, turned on the water a little cold to warm up, and just a few minutes later, my heart started to beat faster. My face was a bit pale, and I was sweating even though I wasn't hot. Luckily, I stopped in time, sat down and rested. When I told this story to the doctor, he laughed and said, "A body at the age of 60 plus doesn't need to be woken up by cold water. It needs to be awakened slowly, like opening the curtains to let in the light, not opening the door to let the cold wind blow on your face." So, if you are someone who usually showers in the morning, the sincere advice is to wait at least 1 hour after waking up. Give your body time to really warm up, drink a glass of warm water, do some light exercise, even just walking around the house a few times is enough. And if possible, avoid cold water completely in the morning, especially in winter or when the weather is humid. Now, speaking of afternoon showers, This is the time many people take advantage of after meals, especially those in retirement homes with flexible hours. But there is also an important thing to note. You should not shower right after a full meal. Why? When you eat, blood is directed to the digestive system to process the food. If you shower right after, especially with warm water, the blood will be drawn back to the skin and limbs to regulate the temperature. As a result, the digestive system works poorly, causing bloating, indigestion, and the heart also has to regulate blood flow, making you feel tired, even slightly dropping your blood pressure without realizing it. A 68-year-old man in Seattle once confided to me that he really likes to take a bath right after eating, feeling free, clean, and ready to take a nap. But recently, every time he does this, he feels a dull pain in his left chest, and when he goes to the doctor, he just says the heart is working too much at unnecessary times. After changing to bathing at least 1.5 hours after eating, he said it feels completely different, light, not as tired and uncomfortable as before. What about bathing at night? I think this is the ideal time for most seniors if you know how to do it. In the evening, your body prepares for the resting phase. A bath with moderately warm water, about 37 degrees Celsius, lasting about 10 to 15 minutes will help dilate blood vessels, slightly lower the body's core temperature afterwards, creating conditions for deep sleep and easier sleep. Many studies in the U.S., especially at the University of Texas, have shown that taking a warm bath about 1 hour before bedtime helps improve sleep quality in the elderly by up to 40%. And you know, good sleep is a natural medicine for the heart. However, you should also avoid bathing too late. After 9 p.m., the body has begun to enter a biological state of complete rest. If you enter the bathroom at that time, even with warm water, the body will have to wake up again, causing the melatonin cycle, the hormone that regulates sleep, to be interrupted. This explains why some people who take a late bath then toss and turn all night. You see, it's the same bathing thing, but morning, noon, evening, each time frame brings a different biological reaction. You can't arbitrarily choose a time just because it's convenient or a habit of many years. Each hour of the day corresponds to a different way of functioning of the body, and your heart needs to be set to that rhythm. Now, let me take you a little further into something that few people mention: the habit before, during, and after bathing. You will be surprised to know that just one wrong move, like standing under the shower immediately, not warming up the body first, or walking barefoot on the cold tile floor, can also be a factor that makes your heart uncomfortable. First is before bathing. Imagine, it is cold, you step into the bathroom, your hands and feet are still cold, then turn on the faucet, whether warm or cold, your body will still be shocked by the temperature. It is best to use a towel to wipe your face with warm water first, then gently dab it on your hands, neck, and chest to pre-warm the nervous system that a change in temperature is about to happen. Just like we warm up before going for a brisk walk, this is a warm-up for the skin and blood vessels. While bathing, pay attention to your standing position. Cold, damp tile floors are enemies of the circulatory system, especially when you stand for a long time. Prepare a soft, grippy mat to avoid slipping, and always bathe in a closed room. You can use a light heater if the weather is below 15 degrees Celsius. In particular, do not pour water directly on your head or chest. Start from your feet, then your arms, abdomen, and finally your shoulders, neck, and head. This method helps your blood vessels dilate gradually without causing a sudden reaction to your heart. After bathing, what you need to do is keep warm properly. Many people often wrap themselves in a thin towel, put on clothes while their skin is still wet, and there is an air conditioner or fan running outside the room. The heart will immediately have to adjust its contraction rate to protect the core temperature. For people with underlying cardiovascular disease, this can easily lead to arrhythmia or prolonged coughing after bathing. Always dry your body with a soft towel, wear comfortable clothes, and maybe drink a sip of warm water after bathing. This not only rehydrates the body but also helps the heart rate gradually return to normal. An old lady in Michigan once told me, after bathing, drink a sip of hot water with a few slices of apple and you will sleep soundly until morning. It sounds rustic, but it is actually very scientific. You see, just a few small habits, before, during, and after bathing, can make a big difference for our heart and sleep. I am curious if you have ever noticed these things. Have you ever felt tired, short of breath, or shivering after bathing? Please share that story in the comment section below. Maybe your sharing will help someone else change their bad habits in time. Now, I want to join you in the final part, where I will share some of the most practical, scientific, and easy to apply tips for choosing the right water temperature for each cardiovascular condition. These are compiled from recommendations at major hospitals such as Mayo Clinic and Harvard Medical School, but I will say them in a way that is easy for you to visualize. Don't miss it, because sometimes, just one right choice can add a few years to your life. Part 3. Choose the right temperature. Preserve your heart in an unexpected way. I promised you, this part will be where we will find the clearest answer to the question from the beginning: should the elderly bathe in warm or cold water? I want you to imagine, the human body is like a biological clock, but the heart is the central machine that operates the entire system. And when we take a bath, especially when the skin comes into contact with water that is too hot or too cold, the heart will immediately receive a signal and react. That reaction can be good if we do it right, but it can also be dangerous if we accidentally choose the wrong way. So, before answering warm or cold, I would like to emphasize one thing. Choosing the water temperature when bathing should not be based on feeling, but on the specific physical condition of each person. If you are someone with a history of high blood pressure, coronary heart disease, or a mild stroke, remember this: water that is too hot or too cold is not for you. That is not a threat, but a proven fact. When you take a bath in water that is too hot, that is, over 40 degrees Celsius, your blood vessels will suddenly dilate. This causes your blood pressure to drop rapidly, and your body will react by increasing your heart rate to compensate. You may feel relaxed, but in fact your heart is straining to race. For healthy people, this is a normal reaction. But for people with heart disease, the heart can have irregular contractions, causing fatigue, dizziness, and sometimes chest pain. If you choose cold water, around below 30 degrees Celsius, your body will immediately react by constricting your blood vessels. This causes your blood pressure to suddenly increase, and your heart will beat harder. A friend of mine in Florida once had low blood pressure right after taking a cold bath in the morning. His heart was weak, but because it was too hot, he poured cold water on it to cool down. As a result, he had to go to the hospital for and have his heart measured all afternoon. So what is the safe zone for the heart? The answer is between 35 and 38 degrees Celsius, that is, slightly warmer than body temperature. You can simply test it by dipping your wrist into the water. If it feels comfortable, not hot or cold, then it is okay. The skin on the wrist is very sensitive to temperature, so it is a natural sensor that we can use every day. Some experts at the Mayo Clinic also advise the elderly should take a quick shower, under 15 minutes, use warm water, and do not soak in the bathtub for a long time if the heart is weak. If you like to take a bath, keep the water level at the waist or lower, so that the water pressure does not press on the chest, causing heart pain. I know some people like to steam by turning on the hot water, closing the bathroom door to sweat a lot. But if you do that without controlling the humidity and temperature, that space will become a dangerous sauna for the elderly, causing rapid dehydration, low blood pressure, and even fainting. So, If you really want to take a sauna or a deep hot bath, consult your doctor first, and it is best to have a relative nearby when trying it for the first time. In addition to temperature, there is another factor that few people think about: the weather and climate of each region. For example, in states like New York or Minnesota, where winters are long and temperatures often drop very low, water around 38 degrees Celsius is reasonable. But if you live in places where it is hot all year round like Arizona or Texas, water of 35 to 36 degrees Celsius is enough to relax without causing heat shock. You should also consider the time of year. In the summer, the room temperature is already high. Bathing in water that is too hot can dehydrate the body faster. In winter, using a gentle heater in the bathroom and having a warm towel ready to dry is necessary to protect blood circulation and keep the heart warm. Another small note that many people ignore is to always measure your blood pressure and heart rate periodically, especially in the morning and before bathing. This helps you know clearly what state your body is in that day. If your heart rate is unusually high, your blood pressure is much different than usual, it is best to postpone bathing to another time of the day, or just wipe your body with a warm towel. Don't think this is too meticulous. I once told a doctor in San Jose, measuring blood pressure before bathing is like checking the brakes before going downhill. No one wants to fail in the middle of the road. Now, I want to emphasize one last thing, but also the most important: no one knows your body better than you. The advice I share, although based on science, must be listened to by your own feelings. If you take a warm bath and feel comfortable, sleep well, not tired, then continue. If you have tried mild cold water and felt refreshed and alert, as long as you do not have any cardiovascular problems, then it may still be suitable. The thing to remember is to always listen to your body, start with small changes, and persistently test what works best for you. So, dear friend, bathing is not just about being clean. It is part of the rhythm of life, a moment for you to touch yourself, to care for and listen to your body in the most gentle way. For young people, bathing is a habit. But for us, after many years, it is the art of living slowly, deeply, and healthily. If you have followed this part, I am truly grateful to you for taking the time to care about your own health. I would love for you to leave a comment below the video. What time of day do you usually bathe? Do you find warm water helps you sleep better, or do you like the cool feeling of water in the morning? Those shares will be valuable for us to learn from each other. And if you find this video useful, please click like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss my latest shares about old age health. Each subscription, each comment is a great motivation for me to continue creating the most kind, practical, and close content. Wish you a happy, healthy, and leisurely life at every age. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.